some main points to remind us what we need to be doing every year regarding our health. For the women, yearly mammogram, yearly physical, pap smear every 3 years, up to 65, age 65. After 65 or hysterectomy, no more pap smear. And then after 65 years old, no more pap smear or hysterectomy. If the hysterectomy was because of bleeding and there wasn't any cancer involved, if there was cancer, then you continue yearly pap smear. And then colonoscopy, men and women when you turn 50. And prostate check for the men after 40 years old, or if you notice any problem with your urination, you can go to the doctor and they check your prostate. And when you have physical every year, make sure they screen for diabetes, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and your blood count. And then colonoscopy up to age 79. So they're thinking, what if you didn't die of colon cancer by 79, you're going to live longer than that, you know. So that's why they stress colonoscopy every 10 years until you turn 79. But if they found polyps in your colonoscopy any year, depending on the kind of polyps those were, they will ask you to come back 3 to 5 years for repeat. Or if it's very suspicious, they might tell you to come back yearly for a while until they can ascertain that nothing is going to happen to cause cancer. Now, I want to talk about some health problems. Not the usual one like high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, and all that are very peculiar to us as a people. One of them, I'm going to use myself as an example. I sweat a lot, I'm telling you. And I didn't know that was a problem. I thought everybody sweat like I do. Until I went to medical school and found out that every human being sweats, but some people sweat more than others. In Nigeria, that's not a problem because everybody smells over there. We all sweat, we all smell, and we don't feel it. Nobody complains. Our food smells, but it tastes delicious and we eat it, you know? So it doesn't bother us. But in this country, their noses are so sensitive that they smell everything that's different from flowers. Anything that's different from flower is a bad smell in America. So why I'm saying this is a lot of us, we get involved in work. We meet with other people that are not Nigerians. And I want us to be conscious. Like some people say, your freedom stops when you get close to my nose, you know? So we all affect each other. Nigerians are very hard workers, but I don't want us to have trouble at work because we don't smell good. It might not be anything that you're doing wrong because I know Nigerians bathe a lot. We take a lot of baths. But you know, if you sweat like me, you're in trouble. I sweat in my hair, I sweat in my body, I sweat in my feet. That is why even though I go into the shower every day before my husband goes, he goes, dresses up, and is ready for everything, and I'm still dealing with myself from head to toe. I say, well, you took your bath, or, you know, he makes fun of me. The thing is, I have to pay attention, not just to my skin. I have to pay attention to my head. I have to pay attention to my feet. That's why I'm bringing this up, because I know I'm not the only one that has a problem. There are two kinds of sweat glands, okay? One goes all over our body. That one is widespread. And the reason we all sweat, all human beings sweat, is because that is the way our body cools off. If we don't sweat, when the sun is 90 degrees, everything in our body will be 90 degrees. But because we sweat, when the brain senses that the temperature is very high, the sweat glands go to work. They open up and start secreting sweat. It's like air conditioner that cools us inside the organ down. So that's one. Then there are some other special sweat glands that are in places where there's hair. Scalp, armpit, groin, anywhere that is folded over, like women under the breast, and in your feet, because we wear shoes all the time, or you wear socks. I'm saying all of these so that these are areas where we need to pay attention to. The sweat itself doesn't smell. It's just water from your body that comes out. But what's happened is when sweat has stayed in your skin for a while, the bacteria in your skin goes to work. And then they grow and cause odor. That's why sweat smells. But sweat, the water sweat itself doesn't have odor. But we all have bacteria, yeast all over us, but they don't cause us any problem, only when our body is out of balance. So I'm saying this so that we be aware. The ones in the armpit and in the groin and in our feet and in our hair, sometimes they don't go overboard when we are not under stress. You see some people when they're under stress, they're sweating in their hands, they're sweating, all over. How do we take care of this? I know that in our culture, even though back home, I was using deodorant. It wasn't really an antiperspirant, okay? But it didn't take away the sweat because the one that was available at home, I didn't know it didn't have the antiperspirant in it. But when I got here, I tried different kinds, and that's what I'm going to recommend. Sometimes you can even use two different kinds. I have a friend that's a nurse that has this problem really bad. She buys the roller up and then she buys the liquid one. So she rolls and then she sprays. Sometimes you have to do it that way. I'm coming to our hairstyle. If you are like me and you sweat a lot, if you braid your hair, make sure you wash it every week. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. I used to have a weave on when I was younger. I didn't know that, that was the problem. Because I get a weave on today, in 2 days' time, I'm pouring water on it. I just want my scalp to be clean. And then it smells like a dead dog, I say, what? That smells bad. Then I say, it's the human hair. I'm not using any more human hair. The synthetic is a little better, but I'm just saying, if you sweat in your hair, in your head like me, please wash your hair at least every 2 days. And my husband knows that's what I do. He said, you're washing your hair? I say, yes, every 2 days. I wash your hair with shampoo, and just to keep it from being offensive to other people, because you are not the only one at work. And if you work with someone, there was also a hair style that I didn't do. Somebody was going to iron my hair, the way they iron your hair, make it crinkly and all that. So I told the hairdresser, I said, I can't. I said, because I walk close to people. I mean, you are examining a patient, and she's wondering, said, this woman, did something burn her head or something? There are some styles we wear, the hair is burnt and it's stinking. If you walk close to people and then in your office, please be mindful. It might look so pretty, but other people might be offended by the smell that comes from it. So let's take care of our braids. There are even some creative braids now. Oh, Tiwa is gone. There was one day Tiwa came to church with this long braid. I was looking at her, I said, she came to church the other day with short hair. Now she has this long braid. So I said, what do you have? Oh, she said, it's a weave. It's a wig from Amazon. You won't know. Her hair is there. She just put it on. It looks like authentic. I would recommend that so that you can wash your hair every 2 days. Wash it, grease it, and even the smell of the shampoo is good. I'm saying this because us. And I want every one of us to be successful, all of us. I don't want you to go through what I've gone through. Okay. And then the other thing is, if you sweat a lot in your armpit and in your feet, everybody's shoe smells. Shoes are stinky. Okay? So if you smell in your feet, how are you supposed to take care of that? After you bathe and you lotion your feet good, use your deodorant for your feet. Rub it on. No, honestly, rub deodorant on your feet. Put it, rub it. Try it before you wear your socks. It's going to help. I'm saying the common deodorants, okay? There are some prescription one. I'm going to go to that. Common deodorant, rub it behind your ears, put it in your armpits, rub it under your breast. Some women have this yeast infection under their breast because yeast grow where there is sweat, moist, and heat and darkness. That's why. But one of the ways you can avoid that is use your antiperspirant deodorant every day. Just rub it under your breast. Rub it behind your ears. This ear, that's a common place to be stinky, okay? Wash your ear, put deodorant. Rub it so it won't be chalky. Don't buy the chalky one. Rub it behind your ears. You can rub it in your neck if your neck stinks or smells. So rub your deodorant in your hand. Don't put it in the place of rub it in your groin. Rub it there. And if you do it long enough, you'll find that some of the offensive odors, you won't even smell it anymore, and you won't stink to people. If one kind doesn't work, you can combine it with another. You can put a spray with a roll-on. I had a friend that did that, and she smelled perfect at work. She works at night. She had a roll-on. So I was saying, I just came to America at that time. I said, oh my God, why do you have to do all of this? Oh, you have to smell good. And I understood it after I started working, So that's what we have to go through. If all that doesn't work, it's time to go to the doctor. There's a stronger one. It's called dry sore. Go to the doctor, they'll write you a prescription for it, and you can use the prescription strength for that. Okay, so we're done with that, and I want to talk about diet. Okay. Our food is fantastic. We have healthy food. We have vegetables. We have the soup that Mrs. Sampari talked to us about in the morning. We have very nutritious food and all of that. But our weakness, that's what I'm going to tackle now. This weakness is our weakness with rice. I was reading some research from Nigeria a while back, where they said that earlier on, and I'm witness to that, when I was younger, the rice that we ate in Nigeria was locally grown. And that rice was not highly processed as the Uncle Ben's until they brought the Uncle Ben's and all the processed rice to Nigeria. And when that happened, the incidence of diabetes went up the roof. The fault is not in the rice. The fault is in ourselves, because we don't have the idea of portion. Believe me, rice was my favorite. when I was growing up. You know, the bowl, the more the rice, especially during Christmas. Okay, and that's where I want to go to. People that are older than me, that are older than me, they can testify to this. We didn't eat rice every day in Nigeria when we were growing up. We ate rice at Easter, at Christmas, at New Year, on Sunday. Okay. Why are we eating rice every day now? Please, because some people, you know, I meet people at work, they say, oh, I have to eat rice every day. Why? Why are we eating rice every day? So please, knock rice back to festive food. Knock it back. I tried it on myself. Any day I eat rice, by the next day I've gained 2 pounds. So that means every day I eat rice, I gain 2 pounds. I'm just telling you, that's me. So let's do something with it. Okay, I'll stop there. The best white rice to eat once in a while is the, I will come there, is the, I just blank out on the name now. Thank you. Basmati rice has the less starch, even lesser than brown rice, even lesser. It has the lesser starch, but we still have to keep to portion. One, you know, the spoon we use to cook stew, 1 spoon of that is 1 portion. Okay? You can eat 2 of that portion a day of rice, but not every day. Okay? Beans is good, but it's dense in calorie. Okay? So you can eat beans, but don't eat a bowl. It's the portion. Don't eat a bowl of it. You will still get weight, even though it's good for you. Don't eat a bowl of it. 1 spoon or 2 spoons. So you say, but I won't be satisfied. There comes the vegetables. Vegetables. Load it. Whether you want to cook it like vegetable soup or a foriro and a goosey soup, or you want to put it in your okra. Okra is a vegetable. Eat more of the soup and meat and a little bit of the starch, please. I eat everything, but not every day. Only those that are helpful for me, that's what I eat every day. I'm fighting with my weight, just like everyone here. It's a lifelong battle. It's not something you finish and say, oh, I've won. No, every day we need to do it. Every day, please. So that is that of the diet. I'll stop there if anybody has any question, anything concerning health. Yes, ma'am. No, what do you mean? You cook beans just by itself, and then you make your stew by itself. And you plant it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do it that way. Most of the time, that's what we do. We have, the portion. No, you can take a spoon of beans, like the way to help you with the portion, take a spoon of beans. If there's rice you're going to eat that day, maybe a scoop of rice. And then you fill the rest with your vegetable soup. Some people even eat rice with okra. I can't do that. You know, so other things. If you have like a plate, cut it into 4 quarters. 3 quarters should be all veggies. I don't care what you put there. Egusi and vegetable. Also, or beef vegetable, but in the last one, that shall fruit or any meat. Oh, young adults, okay. 21. No, 21. because why they, before it used to be, even if they are 9 years old and they are intimate with guys, then we start right then. But they now found out that until they are 18 years old, even if they are exposed to the risk, the virus that can cause cervical cancer, somehow the body clears it. But after 18 and above, then it becomes a problem. It can turn to cancer. So they now said we wait till 21. Yeah. Oh, well, a lot of girls, if they have never been with a man, and this is not to judge anybody here, you know, we're supposed to keep ourselves for our husbands. But if you've been with someone else and you're now looking up to God for a husband that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, then the best thing would be go ahead and start doing pap smear if you are 21 years or older. But some girls, if they've never been with a guy or they've never had intercourse, they opt not to have pap smear until they are ready to do that. But as doctors, we don't judge people. We just tell, if you want a pap smear and you're 21, this is because we want to encourage, a lot of people won't own up. They don't want to own up. So we just put a blanket, 21, you get a pap smear. If you don't want it, we can force it on you, but we're telling you that you need one by 21. Yes. Let me tell you, I used to see patients at the hospital in Louisville. One night, they called me to see a patient. So I went to the break room. The break room smelled like stock fish. Apparently, some Nigerian nurse had left her jacket there. She left it on a chair. Maybe she was doing something around and she just left it there. You know, I was in Nigeria. I knew exactly what was happening, and that was a no-no. Stockfish is delicious, right? We like to eat it, but you know, other people don't recognize that smell, and it wasn't good. That wasn't the right place for that kind of smell to be. We like when we cook it at home, and all our clothes is full of it, so we have to be aware. And I've tried washing African clothes. I didn't know it could be done, you know, because I wasn't aware too. I didn't know my African clothes stink. I'm just telling you, I'm being honest with you so that you know I'm not here to condemn anybody. We are all in this together. I have African clothes that stink. I didn't know. So one day I said, let me try before, you know, we're having a function, we're going to go. So I put daddy's own and mine in the washer and I put delicate. It's like 20 something minutes or something. And I put the soap, it washed it, and that thing was in. It didn't destroy it. And then I put it in the dryer, I put really low. It got dried. I was saying, my goodness, I didn't have to pay for it. You can try with some of the clothes you have. You already have the solution right there at home. So now, before we go anywhere, and I know we're going to wear something that we already had, apart from the actual case, like the laces, I put them in the water, I washed it, you know, a day before or something. It makes it fresh. We really have to be aware of other people because, you know, we affect other people directly or indirectly. Yeah. Once he gets in the clothes, yeah. And underwear too, underwear. Well, it's not. And then the other thing, not just change it every day. Find a panty liner because you won't know. You go pee, you know, back home. How many of you can buy toilet paper? Where is the toilet paper? Newspaper. Will you use newspaper to wipe front? But the thing is this, after you pee and you put on your underwear again, some people is still there and it gets on your underwear. You don't have to wait till the next day. It's going to smell. And sometimes when it gets there too many times, you even wash it, the thing still stinks like it's pee. So use panty liner. If panty liner is too expensive, every time you use the toilet, do some tissue paper and just put it there in case there's any secretion or any pee leak or something. You throw tissue paper away, you know. All of this, you are getting it from me free. I had to learn it the hard way. So we need to take care of ourselves, okay? Is that it? Any more questions? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Bread is starch, okay? If you ask us, I'll just use myself as an example. We don't buy bread except there are visitors coming because we don't want to impose our diet on our visitors. So if my kids are visiting out of town or something, I get their favorite bread and all of that. I know we eat bread a lot at home. We do, you know. We eat bread and tea every morning. Not here though. If you can knock bread out of your diet, knock it off. If you can't, buy whole grain, whole wheat bread, and don't eat more than one slice a day. Can you do that? One slice. Aha. See, it's hard. So if you can eat things like green plantains or even dodo, if you fry dodo, there's sugar in it, right? But it's natural. It's in it. It hasn't been processed. It's the way it came from farm. You just sliced it and you deep fry it. Even though the oil will give you calorie, but the fiber is still there and the food is whole. But bread is not whole. They took away all the fiber to make it soft. So that's why when you eat it, it drives your glucose up. I will just say one more thing and I'll put the microphone down. Let's try and eat dinner early. You know, I went to a conference recently. It wasn't last week or 2 weeks ago. It was like a 2-day conference. So there was this cardiologist that came out. He said, if you don't live to be 100, you died prematurely. I was just saying. So I came home and told my husband. My husband said, he probably doesn't read the Bible. So anyway, but the reason he said that was this. He said, we know there are two things that seems to kill people quick in this country. Number one is the Caucasian is heart attack, okay? And then he said, we know what causes that. And what causes that is plaque in the coronary artery. He said, and we know how to prevent that. How to prevent that is to bring the cholesterol down. That he told his son that if his good cholesterol is more than his bad cholesterol is more than 70, he needs to go get treatment. So that is that. Then he said for the Black people, the one that does it to us is the cardiomyopathy, is the heart muscle. And that is caused by high blood pressure. How do we control that? And that is by controlling high blood pressure. And that's harder to control. So we need to make sure our blood pressure come down. And all these things I'm talking about, they all feed into that. Our weight, our diet, and our exercise, all feed it. It doesn't mean we're not going to die. We will one day. But while we are at it, let's keep healthy and enjoy our life if there's thing we can do to do that. So did I answer that? So bread, anything you can knock off. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat anything. I eat everything. If I guess, I was telling Mama today, I said, my husband and I, if we were home this morning, probably wouldn't eat breakfast and maybe a light lunch or no lunch. Maybe we eat early dinner. I said, but I like to feel the fellowship and eat and everything, you know. So, yes, ma'am. Yes. What did you say? You don't sweat? It's good for you. You know what happens when you sweat? Even if you don't sweat, even if you don't exercise, you still sweat because it's part of your body's regulation. Okay, you might not feel it because it's not dropping like water, but it goes into your clothes and all of that. Okay, when you exercise, you sweat more. It's good because it brings out the extra salt and water, and that's what happens to us from Africa. Back home, we don't have to exercise. The sun gets the water and the salt out. And then when we get here, there's so much cold, or we go from air conditioner to air conditioner, and then we don't sweat, and all that is in. And before we know it, our blood pressure is up because there's nowhere to drive the sweat out. Yes, ma'am. One a day. One a day. That's if you eat it every day. One slice. We shouldn't eat it every day. Yes, ma'am. What? Yeah. We don't buy it except when we have visitors. We don't buy it at all. I don't go to the store and say, should I buy Coke, Pepsi, or this? We don't buy it. It's water. They should stop now. They should stop now because, you know, what they find out that you don't have to become diabetic before you get side effect from it. Even before diabetes starts, there's a stage we call pre-diabetic. Even in the pre-diabetic stage, some of the complications are already there. I'm saying this because I'm in an institution where they're doing research all the time and they give us feedback. Even long before diabetes, when your body is telling you, if you look at your neck and it's dark in your neck, is darker than your face, or your elbow here is darker than the rest of your skin, you have a risk of becoming diabetic. That's one sign to look for. So let's be careful. One more thing. I'm ready to go, so I'll just stand up. No. You know the reason why? You've taken that juice out of its natural environment. If you need something sweet, buy an apple, buy a pear, buy orange, buy strawberries, blueberries, grapes, anything that is like the way they brought it from the farm that is sweet. You can eat it because all the fiber is in there and your body has to work. And my last point is this. The only vegetable in life is not only collard green and spinach and mustard green and the ones we can cook in soup. There is broccoli, there is green beans, there is cauliflower, there is all kinds, all kinds. I'll give you one recipe of cabbage that you can eat with anything. Like you want to eat your 1 scoop of rice and you're saying this is not going to fill me. So get a head of cabbage, anyone you like. I do the green ones all the time. I'm coming, daughter, I'm coming. So get a head of it, cut it in chunks, in bite chunks. Get a big microwavable dish. You know, I have a big square one that has a lid on it. Put it in it. And then there's a turkey sausage that I buy from Sam. It's already cooked sausage, turkey. So I get 2 patties of it and defrost it in the microwave, cut it in tiny pieces, put it in. Then I add half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I put some rosemary in there, and I put some ginger, and I put some garlic powder in there. Then I get my avocado oil, and I sprinkle it, maybe up to like 2 teaspoons. Then I mix it, and I put it in the microwave for like 10 minutes. You will know it's cooked when you start seeing some water in the dish, even though you didn't put water in it. Mix it all together. I mean, you can eat it by itself. You can take it to work for lunch. You can eat it for breakfast. You can eat it for dinner. You can eat it with your rice. You can eat it before you eat your fufu, so you won't eat too much. If you eat a lot of that, then 2 hands of fufu, you're full, you know? So, yes. My kids, they love rice. And I try to cook their basmati. I bought it from Sakao. So when I think my kids are like, what is this? It's different from one. So they kind of abandoned me, right? Everybody was walking around me. I was like, I'm by myself. And my husband don't like rice. Is it too soft? Sister Ronke was just saying that you can mix it half and half. I'm glad your daughter is here. Sometimes that basmati is tricky. If you add too much water, it's not going to be so soggy, and it's not going to be like rice. It doesn't need a lot of water at all. Just a little water, little. And within 5 to 6 minutes, it's all cooked. If it's still hard or something, you know, it might be manageable. But that is the least starchy rice. And to tell you that the research is thorough, I went to a conference. It's called Cardiometabolic. When you go to that conference, you won't eat anymore. So in that conference, 3 doctors set up a kitchen. They actually prepared meals there for us to eat. And one of them was Indian. He was the one that said, you think brown rice is the healthy rice? Try basmati because it's less starchy than even brown rice. Even though brown rice is a good rice because it has all the fiber in it, but the calories in there is still a lot of carbohydrate. So that's why. Yeah. Oh, I don't get it. I don't know, you know, because rice that is made in Nigeria, that is processed there, most of it is brown rice. Yes, Dora. What did you say? Oh, sweet. Okay, can you eat a banana or banana pudding if you want to eat sweet? Can you eat a strawberry or apple if you need something sweet? Yes, on birthday, that's what I'm saying. I eat everything, but not every day. The only things I eat every day is the food that is good for me, that is healthy for me. But on other days, like celebration of a birthday, I can eat pizza, I can eat anything. I'm telling you, I can eat anything. I can eat French fries, I can eat, but I don't eat them every day. So I don't feel guilty when I eat them, you know? All right.
Let's give it up one more time for our mommy, Dr. Falola.